Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer League Week 7. This is our final week, and this is not only the final week, but the final day as well. I am your commentator today, Esper Hub, and I'll be covering today's race. Week 7 being a co-op Randomizer, and they start with boots. They have to defeat Ganon, and it's an info share. So our teammates from each side, being from Bottles on Empty, Maximum Barrage, and Jim Bro, they're going to be sharing that info between one another as they complete this race. And on the other side, they'll be going up against Terranigma. Is a great game, which I'm not going to lie, it is a great game. Representing them is Elaine and Super Nina Taylor. So yeah, co-op info share is basically a group of 4 paired up in twos, and they do a race and they share info between one another to finish the race as soon as possible. And there's some benefits to that, especially if you have boots. You can diverge your routes and cover much more ground that way and find key items that the other runner on your team has not found yet. On top of that, with Randomizer, that means enemies are shuffled. So do not be alarmed if you see some Lionels coming out from Zelda's house, which didn't seem to be the case. That's fine. We do get a fish off the side, so we may see some people use that to the benefit. But yeah, enemies are completely shuffled, and I believe that goes with bosses too. As we are already going to get our green pendant check here. We already located one pendant, so here's hoping the others is not too far off. We do get gloves, 20 rupees, and a piece of heart off the back of his closet. With green pendant being on Misery Mire. But yeah, that gloves would be very useful right now, as we get a check from Lumberjack Ledge, piece of heart, nothing important. But yeah, you'll be seeing the runners kind of overlap each other, trying to get whatever important find that your teammate has found, for sure. We're gonna get some back in the sewers, and while we get an Uncle check, we got some bombs from Uncle. Map, small key, and a piece of heart in the back of sewers. We do get a piece of heart in the Thieves' Hideout, and I don't think we got anything over there in Uncle's route either, so nothing much to go off of. I'm pretty sure that means Kakariko is stacked at this point. It has to be. Okay, more bombs. Thank you. Yeah, I may be solo cons, but it's going to be quite a bit of a chore to get my eyes on all these screens here. Especially with these runners are running so fast. They're running so fast. Like, I'm fine if it just didn't have boots, but no, they got boots at the start. But here we go in our first dip into Kakariko Village. And we get here in Kakariko Village a piece of heart, a bottle, a whole heart, and a piece of heart. So yeah, that bottle will help us clear up more of Kakariko Village for more checks. And another whole heart. Meanwhile, in the well, we get 20 rupees. We gotta drain it out to see what's in our sunken treasure chest tries. Around the Kakariko well, we get 20 rupees. And our sunken treasure chest is some more bombs. Inside the bumpable wall is 50 rupees. 20 rupees, a mushroom, and some more rupees. Hey, we got a what they call it, oh my goodness. A stimulus care package from Kakariko Village so far. That maybe some money can be going towards Zora if our runners ever so inclined. The fetch quest is going to be a nice incentive to go over there, especially when they got gauntlets already. You get a piece of heart. Okay, here we go. Some more arcane and boomerang and a piece of heart from our generous man over there. That lane is going to get some more bombs, which is pretty fair. If you got the money to spend for it, go for it. We do get a moon pearl at the back of the tavern. That's going to be very important. And we're going to check up on Sick Kid. Sick Kid's going to give us 5 rupees. And nothing to write home about, but that's okay. In the ice cave, what we're going to get here, this is probably one of the checks people skip on. We get 100 rupees. That's a good prompt on the save and quit. At the library, we're going to get our lantern here, our first source for fire, and to help clear us the way in the dark rooms. Finding it very early in the game is something that most runners will welcome. Though most runners at this caliber are pretty comfortable dealing with running in the dark. Oh yeah, that's right. Because it's Randomizer, we really do want that lantern because we don't want to get snucked up on by Lionels for sure. As Chad would like to point out. ₹20 in the maze game. We get our first check on. Oh my goodness. We get our first check at Hyrule Castle with it being bombs. I guess that's where he was storing the rest of his bombs. You know what? No, we just. Oh wait, does he have any? He does have a key, right? Meanwhile, I'm gonna check what's in Mushroom. Mushroom is a whole heart. That lock-in is a hard commitment. That save and quit is a hard commitment to being, there's nothing important in Magic Bat. We ain't got no hammer anyways for it yet. Besides the big guy throwing our bombs at the start, the enemies are here, and the prison part is pretty generous. So let me hold my breath on that. Knock on wood, because there could be a line on there. We do get a bow in Agina's closet. That's probably going to be useful at some point, I'm pretty sure. I think that was a map in Escape. Elaine being the first person entering a dungeon, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna hate themselves for it, because unless there's a bow in here, somehow magically a bow being in here of all things. Oh, we do get a hammer. Never mind, worth it. We got our Dark Road axes now. That was totally. I would save and quit at that point. But it looks like they're going to be a further divergence in here, which is okay. You're already here. You might as well check the rest of the chest, and even then, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to get back into here. We get our big key too, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, 20 rupees was in the last part of this game, and they're going to take an intentional death warp. They're going to check Dark Cross. I want to say all the enemies and bosses are random, so yeah, do not be surprised if we see some Trinaxes. I'm not sure if it's a full shuffle or if it's a complete, absolutely random shuffle for bosses. So this room is that is a dangerous room. And I did not see what was in Dark Cross. I wanted to pay attention to that. Oops. It doesn't seem like there was going to be anything in. Otherwise, our two trackers will light that up for sure for me. Which, by the way, I would like to thank them for dropping in on a sudden notice, because this is pretty hectic already on my end, at least. Do get across in the big key chest. Compass, not a cross. Compass. That's kind of like a compass, right? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, here's the fun thing. Maximum Barrage is the only one with the bow, so they'll be the ones to finish this up. They'll be the ones to finish up this dungeon as far as anything else goes. Unless the enemy, the boss, doesn't require a bow. Oh, yeah, that's right, because all the enemies are shuffled. We don't really need to worry about that. I forgot. I'm following weird logic. I'm not following weird logic. I'm following the normal logic if you had like enemies and bosses in the same places. But yeah, we do get to see our first boss today in Dungeon 1. Land's looking to finish this area up, and it's last one looking a little bit, a little bit packed. It's one way of putting it. No area to swing a cat in this place. But hey, we got a hammer. We can nail it down. Being really careful not to get hit here, because some of these guys can take 2 health. And that will be it. And inside our first boss will be blind. All right, then. Our runners should be able to finish this up with no issue if, if they don't get hit as much. Being on 2 health is a little bit nerve-wracking here. Hopefully Thailand will make it out unscathed. Oh, boy. You almost got it, Thay. You almost got it, Delane. You almost got it. Almost there. We're pulling a very light version of Ikaruga here. Except we cannot eat the dots. Along with for the ride, Superintendent Taylor is doing the blind fight as well. Not too far from them, Maximum Barrage is coming up, and fortunate death for Elaine. That save and quit means that they're going to go at it at a different time. And that's the benefit of Dungeon 1. If you do not clear the boss in the first go, Might as well go back, get some more reinforcement, and then you can come back to it later once you do Palace of Darkness. And Ninja finishes up the blind fight with Cane of Samora in hand. Very useful item. We do get a piece of heart for our efforts. And Super Nintendo will be our first runner for this race to secure a crystal. The Gym Bro taking an unfortunate death. Too many bullets was on screen. Maximum Barrage sealing the deal, getting the first crystal for their team. Yeah, the Randomizer, no lie, is going to be really rough. No two ways about it, for sure. The lane opting to go in the dark world. We're going to be on. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at Hype Cave. What we get here? We get a Bombos, Whole Heart, Flippers, 10 arrows, and 20 rupees. Hey, I rate that as a 8 out of 10, I guess, because it only had Bombos and Flippers. And Jim Bro getting their bow and arrow from Regina's closet. Super Nintendo Taylor going into the dark world from Village of Outcasts to go into Skull Woods. We will be taking a look inside Skull Woods just to see what's going on in here. We got one chest, and hopefully it's a key, and we can go further into this area. No, we don't. We only get 50 rupees for our efforts, I see. The lane's proceeding into Palace of Darkness. And we do get a map check from Maximum Mirage. Skullwood's red, Ice Palace's pendant, and Swamp Palace, of course, has to be another red crystal. Why it had to be a red crystal? Jokes aside, that makes getting the flippers all the better now that we got that information now. So yeah, I believe that's all of our crystals and pendant placements, right? Unless we're missing one pendant, right? Happen confidence. Compass and map. Well, I wouldn't say it was compass and map. Those two chests can be intertwined. I'm not sure. Regardless, Magic Hand, the Master Hands, is giving us a lift out of here. That'd be great if Helmsor was in Skull Woods right now, but I don't think he is. Wait, he is. Oh wait, that's even worse. Meanwhile, while I'm not looking, Maximum Barrage Maximum Barnage is playing our national anthem, freeing the bird. Where did he find the flute? Oh, pyramid. Okay. So it was just right on pyramid ledge. Okay. That's actually pretty generous. Amazing clip by Thalane, though. Getting through the barrier with no issue. And that was really rude. I don't think you could do hammer jump through there. And going through Old Man's Cave, you could just hear those spike movements clinking back and forth inside the walls. One of the funny benefits of Randomizers is that sometimes you have enemies being where they're not supposed to be, and they make funny things happen. Inside Villa Vodcast treasure game, we get a whole heart. Maximum Varnish must have got the hook shot because he's on the east side of Death Mountain for sure. Yes, he does. We do finally get our sword, and we get Quake 3 Arena as our bonus acquirement from Paradox Cave. Good hammer swat. That bird takes 4 health with no armor on, so yeah. Well, I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to back and forth. The Gym Bro and Super Nin Taylor, both in Thieves Town Dungeon. Of course, there will be a bedrock in one of these areas. Of course, there would be. Why wouldn't it? The Gym Bros opted not to go into the boss room just yet. Oh, that's because it's Viddy. Never mind. I mean, you can still do Viddy. You got 30 arrows and a bow, no less. It's doable. A little bit hard though, with this amount of health. And I'm guessing that's what the Gym Bro is looking to do. Looking to see if they can get any more items before they take care of the boss itself. Speaking of, this room is a mess. Super Nin Taylor is doing digging gang, get a piece of heart for the digging prize. And I do believe we're going to see Catfish. We get an ice rod from Stumpy. So if there's any need for looking for ice rod, that's no longer an issue now. Kind of happy we don't have to do ice rod hunts. And from Catfish, we get a bee in a bottle. And this is the fun part. We get to take a look at the back of, well, we get to take a look at Zora's Domain. We get some bombs. We got a piece of heart. A whole heart, I mean. I'm sorry. We get fairies in a bottle from our fairy fountain. Superintendent Taylor taking an unfortunate. I can't tell if it was intentional or an unfortunate death. My eyes are darting everywhere at this point. Ooh. To be really honest, the rollers are brutal. Like, if you're like, the only way people, if you're very experienced, the only unfortunate deaths you'll take is rollers or Lionels. Yes, both teammates need to finish to win the seed, the race. And it's the best advantage between the two. So if it is a close race, they average out the times between the two runners and see who wins that way. Oh, dang, you can kill the thieves? That is some... I wish I was playing this seed now. I'll be killing them all day. As much as I hate them in an Randomizer run. The Gym Bro is going to get their ice rod. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a back and forth, a little overlapping between our runners now, until we get to, until we get like find some new progression items, because it is possible with Mirror Being and Palace of Darkness to do Swamp Palace, but it depends on how soon the Gym Bro is going to do that. Because he's the only, well, not really that he's the only one with the bow that can do it. It's just like, if you're going in pod, your intention on clearing it. So you still need the bow to do that. And I'm wondering if, I guess you can dive into it without having to worry about it. But it is a crystal. Unless we find another bow out here in the overworld or in the other dungeons, I don't think we can skip Agina's closet today. The lane is going to do our hair pot clip. Executed beautifully. Gonna take a look, skip through most of this part. Every time I look at the corner, I see red, and I see someone taking an unfortunate. We get our fire rod. All right then, amazing. That's what we want to see in a pendant terror tower, no less. You know, just saying. Just saying. You know, just throwing those wild cards out there. I guess. Seed. All jokes aside, though. Lane's gonna take on Mothula, who should be a complete pushover at this point. There's no moving tiles. There's no spikes anywhere. Without those, Mothula is like a pushover. I'll be really honest. A complete pushover. That's the only two things that makes Mothula really hard. Without them, Mothula is nothing. Maximum Barnage is going to get their mirror. No need to do... Well, I guess you can still do Death Warp just so you can get the refill on the hearts. Outside of that, though... do see that Blind's in pod. And there goes the intentional death. There we go. Continuing their adventures in the Death Mountain, the lanes getting their bottle from Spiral Cave. And they're going to be getting their goodies from the Paradox Cave as well. The Taylor gets their sword from Pod, so they finally got one of their weapons of defense. We still need Master Sword to beat Ganon, so we're still got to look for that. So unless the game is a swordless feat, you still need Master Sword to beat Ganon because it's the bare minimum to do damage to him. Maximum Barnage is going to be our runner to encounter our first boss, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, it should be Blind. We did take a look at the map, and thankfully with the compass and these recent randomized seeds updates, allows us to see which boss is in which dungeon. And they're just going to say, screw it, we're just going to use Bombos. We don't have time to try to hit everyone on this screen. We're just going to incinerate them. Which is, I agree. Trying to hit all those enemies and then they're still doing their shocking stance and whatnot. I hate those things. I really do. And here we are. Blind Fight's going to be a little bit difficult up here because of those spikes being in the way. But, that's fine. We got Cane of Samora to help supplement that. Good, excellent shooting with the Samora Cane. This is... Usually you'll wait for the blind monster to go down and then you finish them off. There we go. But Maximum Barnish did have like nearly all the necessary work to line that up and gets himself the Tempered Sword. We got bacon, ladies and gentlemen. That's our third sword upgrade. Meanwhile, Super Nin Taylor is realizing they didn't have enough hearts to brute force against the spike and takes a intentional death, which is very fair. The enemy placement is really rude there. And here we go, almost rave party at the Skullwoods boss. This is probably not, shouldn't be that bad. Shouldn't be that bad, I say in quotation marks. At least the spikes are not moving, so. Oh, okay. That scared me for a moment. One of the arms was going off the screen for a bit, and I was scared that was just gonna be at an unreachable area. But yeah, it looks like the lane is going to be able to clear up this rest of this fight. Yeah, Bo would have made this a little bit more manageable for sure. just a little bit more. I'm not sure by how much because of the moving floor. Maximum Barnage picking up some backup potions. Lane finishing up their Armos fight in Skull Woods to secure 8 crystal for the team. The Gem Bros entering Palace of Darkness. I believe this is their first time going in here. And I believe Maximum Barnish is going to be checking. Yeah, they're going to be checking Tower of Hair. So yeah, they will be finding their Fire Rod. And that information feed will be very useful for Ninjembro. No, wait, Ninjembro is the one that found the fire. Wait, really? Oh my goodness. I'm overlapping here. They did find the Fire Rod already. It's just a matter of getting to it now. K45 only had 50 rupees. Nothing to write home about. Meanwhile, at the back of Cemetery, we are looking for our next item here, and it is a whole heart. Might as well grab it. And we get in King's Tomb. Hopefully we get a progression item here. Somewhere around here, right? Nope, just a piece of heart. Never mind. Maximum Barnage, popping the red potion, going to brute force into Spike Cave. And this will get them there. Back here, which is 10 arrows. Go figure. Well, I'm not surprised. And then Taylor getting their hook shot. All right, so I'm pretty sure one of them is going to have to bite the bullet. And as I say this already, Maximum Barnage is 3 paces ahead of me. Looks like they're going to be checking out Swamp Palace for the first time. Finally, we're going to be seeing both Maximum Barnage and Super Nin Taylor going in there and checking in. Unfortunately, Super Nin Taylor kind of went in there without realizing that they need to mirror. That's okay though. I did that mistake like not too long ago at some point. Yeah, we're finally going to be going into some new fresh areas, so we'll be seeing some new checks here from Swamp Palace. Let's see if we can get our last set of items being go mode. I think the only thing left to be in go mode is actually unless Turtle Rock requires ether, we should theoretically be in go mode. Now I'm looking at this item lineup. Yeah, the only thing is missing is knowing what the last oh wait, my mistake. We still need Titan's and hopefully that should be our go mode because we already got 2 of the 3 medallions. And Entry Fairy being a little bit pesky today. And Super Ninja taking an unfortunate death, but that's okay. Lane is going up against Viddy, and oh no. Already took one bit of damage from him. I'm not sure. Well, this is from Thieves Town. You can quickly get into this boss fight if you do end up losing this fight. Patience. Gotta make sure you be careful about the eyes, and you should be good to go. You do have a few more hits on you. Oh yeah, they could also have Fairy in a bottle. So I wouldn't be surprised. The aggressive hammering though. Let's go. Smash that eye up. Good, clean kill from the lane on the last part of the fight. Get 300 rupees for their effort. And that is another crystal in their pocket. Meanwhile, I forgot to check left side swamp, but who cares about left side swamp? I hate left side swamp. We don't need left side swamp. Lane's gonna get their ice rod, so that's all of our runners armed with at least one of the rods. Once Super Nintendo finishes the Swamp Palace, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be heading up to the heading up to Death Mountain to get their fire rod soon enough from Tower of Hera. There's our silvers. So our other bow is in Swamp Palace boss. Well, not on the way to the boss. So yeah, you can get your arrows, but not in Nagina's closet for sure. It's good that Terranigma is not going to have to deal with going to Nagina's closet, but also it's bad for them because Bottles on Empty already had a bow from Nagina's closet, so we're going to be advantage on the silvers. And last time I checked, silvers did way too much damage, as you can clearly see here from Maximum Barnage. The difference is night and day, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm pretty sure when they go into Skullwood, this is going to be the same effect as well. They do perfect amounts of damage. I like that. I'm going to take that one. They do perfect amount of damage. Lane's going to go and get their bow. Now the question is, do Terranigma go through Nagina's closet once they start going into Eastern Palace? Because if they do, then they'll be nearly on pacing with Bottles on Empty. The only issues that I think I can see is like, well, no, they'll be on pacing. Because if they end up skipping Nagina's closet, the moment they start doing Ganon fight, we're going to see a huge difference in the how that fight plays out. Super Nintendo setting up for the quick kill. Don't need silvers to do that. Let's go. Lane, not too far off, going to set up their quick kill as well. Giving us the old Eastern Palace old school plays. Let's do this. as they clean up their fight, showing the world that we don't need Agina to get those silvers. Maybe for Skull Woods, perhaps. Maybe. But not for this one. The other thing that I think that our runners are still doing is still looking for Titan's Mitts. I'm starting to think it's in desert. I'm starting to think Titan's Mitts is in desert. That's like one of the only areas that I have yet seen our runners go into fully. They got book. One of them has book already. So no one having any intention of going in there. Okay, book is from Highlander Island. So yeah, they have access to the book, and I'm pretty sure that book is going to lead them to Titan's Mitts. It has to. If my logic is playing correctly here. This will be the thing I'll gamble on, for sure. Instead of doing the tablets, I'll just go straight to Desert Palace at this point. As much of a luxury it is to get Titan's Mitts and then mirror into Desert, this is not really we can't be choosers here. Beggars can't be choosers at this point. For sure. And here we are with the lane making the call. Desert Ledge only having 20 rupees. We're going to take a look into Desert Palace this time. The last accessible dungeon, which I'm pretty sure will have our last bit of progression for sure. So Vanintel is going to go into Power Pair. They're going to get their Fire Rod. Meanwhile, remember that Vidi fight? What Vidi fight? I blinked and I saw nothing. I see Vidi dying. We get a big key from Desert. Some bombs. Maybe checking the other side pretty soon. Oh, look! Titan's Mitts. So now our runners are in theoretical go mode. We still do not know our entry for Turtle Rock. And that's because Titan's Mitts was hiding behind it. I mean, Titan's Mitts was hiding it. This is saying the least. So yeah, I don't think Terranigma. Oh my god, I have a very terrible pronunciation today. Excuse my French. But yeah, I don't think they are going to be checking for silvers. Oh my goodness. I'm reading too hard into this, I guess. Terranigma. Oh me. Yo. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Yeah, I don't think our runners are going to be looking for any more items now. They're gonna be trying to make a beeline to fight Ganon. And speaking of fights, we got Trinex in Desert Palace. So even with Tempered Sword Silverless, I feel like if they were to both go in at the same time, I'm pretty sure Bottles on Empty will still beat out on that Ganon fight because they got silvers from Agina's closet. From finding the first bow in Agina's closet. Now, this is only if they started leaving desert. If Terra start leaving desert, then yeah, it's basically, if they're still neck and neck, it's basically Bottles on Empty's race to lose on execution. And as you can see here, the silver arrow's making quick work of Armos. Maximum Barnage is getting their crystal. Most likely going to be joining up on the hunt to get the Titan's Mitts, which is on desert, of course. Oh, but they're gonna do a peer. Are they really gonna do? Okay, no, they're not. I forgot they got food. I thought they was gonna do a pedestal check. That'd have been funny. But no, you wouldn't do this for the last race. The last race for your team, at least. And Intel is finishing up their Trinex fight. Thankfully, they got green potions. Because if they messed up on that hit, I'm pretty sure they'll be swearing up and down the Hyrule overworld to get more potion. Hey, how you doing? For those of you that's just joined us, this is A Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 6. We're in the final week of this, 4 our weeks at least, before we go into the playoffs. And that this is a co-op Randomizer. And that means that all of our enemies, including the bosses, are shuffled. We're going to get at least 3 repeats of a boss. At least if I recall correctly. And we're in a situation where Bottles on Empty found the first bow on Agina, and they have an item advantage because they now got silvers, and this was from Swamp Palace, compared to Terra is a great game, who only found the bow in Swamp Palace. So now both runners are in go mode. I mean, both teams are in go mode. I'm sorry, and it's just we're gonna see some. If the teams are both neck and neck, we're gonna see a very stark contrast of how the Ganon fight will play out, unless Bottles on Empty mess up on execution, which I highly doubt that will be the case. Randomizer is pretty brutal, but they have gotten enough resources to kind of weather that storm now, compared to the early game, which both teams were taking some serious hits. So yeah, it's just a matter of how things execute now. Yeah, no invisibility, no powder means anything can still happen for sure. Blame being you doing the smart choice of using bombos here. I'm not dealing with this room. Everything can get caught on fire here for all I care. And Ninjimbro is going to be our first runner to reveal the moment of truth. Do we need Ether for Trinex? I mean, for Turtle Rock. It's only because we saw Trinex in Desert Palace. That's why it's still stuck in my brain. And see, here's the fun part. Even if Turtle Rock requires Ether, our runners nearly checked everything that wasn't locked behind Titan's Mint to look for Ether Medallion. So I'm pretty sure Ether Medallion is just like in Hookshot Cave, if that's the case. Yeah, I'm gonna place my bets on Hookshot Cave. But no, we don't need that. We got Quake on Turtle Rock. Our runners are now in actual legitimate go mode. All they need to do is clear up to the rock, and they'll be going into the tower. They're gonna be looking for a big key, 2 keys, and then just doing the gauntlet. Now, the gauntlet's gonna be fun because all the enemies are shuffled. So we're gonna probably be seeing a lot of shenanigans here and there and everywhere. I mean, as if we wasn't seeing shenanigans to begin with, to be really honest. Yeah, Super Nintendo's trying to finish up the rest of their fights. Good punt on that block. Oh my goodness. Starting to think Taylor is a field goal kicker for one of the football teams with this amount of excellent shots that they're doing for this blind fight. Yeah, the lack of Kate or Brianna makes this a little bit dicey for the gauntlet for sure. But that depends on if we find any of those items. At this point, our runners are going to be making a beeline to finish it as fast as possible with the equipment they have acquired. Comes that fairy going into use. Oh, hey, how you doing, Lionel? What you doing over there, buddy? Oh, wow, there's another one down there as well. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Rude. That's what this seed is being right now. Ben and Taylor finishing up their Vidi fight. Didn't have much issue doing it. All that's left now is them to defeat Skull Woods, which shouldn't take that long. And then they still need to do. They still need to start going into Turtle Rock. So they're not too far behind. Elaine taking an unfortunate death from a crystal roller. Yeah, the lack of cape or invincibility items is making this seed really rough here. And Jimbro being our first runner of the 4 to step into the boss room for the Turtle Rock. I'm not sure if they took a championship, but oh, hey, look! Cold Stare! Yes, worth mentioning, all of our runners are rocking green mail for these fights. So do not mistake things looking easy right now. These are some very, very risky fights here that they're doing. So the Jimbro handling it like a pro, get a piece of heart for their efforts. And that is their last crystal. Hey, let's do some guessings on where that big key is at. I believe our maximum location would be 23? Between 1 and 23. Let's pick a number. Let's see which check has the big key. Which I would like to say is 6. I'm going to go with 6 today. Last call for the voting on the big key location, and closed. Jimbro going into the left side first. We get a small key there. We're gonna be needing that. Gonna be needing that small key. Check number 2 would be 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is Dark Magician strats. We're going to the left side, right side this time. That's number 6. Number 7 didn't really yield anything, so they're going to go into the right side some more. And their partner is going to go on the other side. They're going to get that small key. I'm not sure if they're probably going to diverge from this just to see if they can get to the big key sooner.